Ah, I was wondering when these comments would start popping up again. I seriously was. Then lo and behold, a minor injury to Steph, a few inconsistent games by Clay, some mind-blowing technical fouls to Draymond, and it seems like everyone has become Chicken Little, running around in circles, screaming, "The sky is falling." I understand the pain though. I mean, the team is currently hovering around 500, they're not winning games they should be winning, and overall, without taking a closer look at the whole picture, things look bleak. Losing makes everything look 100 times worse than they actually are, and some of y'all might think I'm a little crazy for saying this, but the absolute truth of the matter is Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors have the NBA exactly where they want to be, and if you think they're in trouble, you're being fooled, but I don't blame you, because we all are. As of this very moment, the Warriors are losing more games than they're winning. They're sitting in the 11th seed in the Western Conference, and you know what that means, right? They're not even in the play-in picture. But if you think that they're in any sort of trouble at all, you, my friend, are fooling yourself, and here's why. Well, there's a multitude of reasons, but I'll start off with the obvious fact, which is that they're literally only 5 games back from the first seed, and just 2.5 games back from the 6th seed. Yeah, that's right. They're just 2.5 games back from being in a position where everyone would be singing a different song about them, except Kendrick Perkins, because he's a hater. Honestly, he's to Steph Curry what Skip Bayless is to LeBron. Anyway, with that being said, do you have any idea how common it is for elite teams to just string together a stretch of good games and get a bunch of wins? Well, look, here's the data from last season. The Bulls, Warriors, Suns, and Celtics all string together 9-game winning streaks at one point last season. The Suns also strung together another 11-game winning streak that season, and so did the Grizzlies. The best stretch of wins was by the Suns with 18 last season, who ended up being completely humiliated with a Luka special, but that's neither here nor there. And if you're wondering why I'm showing you all of this data, it's because the Warriors this year are capable of playing at these levels and going on these types of runs. I'm not kidding. While some of y'all might be thinking I'm overly optimistic or even crazy or even delusional, none of us can deny the fact that the Warriors are elite. And here's what I mean. The Cavaliers are one of the best teams in the league currently. They got multiple All-Stars, a rising young star, and ballers who are capable of dropping 50. But yet, against the Warriors in early November, they look like the helpless post-LeBron Cavaliers who were lottery-bound year after year. Next off, we have the Boston Celtics, who currently have the best regular season record in the NBA. Everyone was thinking, because of their finals loss last year, that they'd be seeking vengeance and would crush the Warriors this time around, but we all saw what happened. Against a Warriors squad that was missing their second best player in Andrew Wiggins, the overall complete game of Golden State was still too much for them to handle. The Celtics were clamped down on one end of the floor and were blitzed on the other. These are just two obvious examples that show you just how elite the Warriors are, compared with the record, and it's not just me saying it either. I mean, here's Draymond when he was asked about his thoughts of the Western Conference.
You and the Golden State Warriors are not concerned about the West?
No, I'm not concerned about anybody in the West.
And to be honest, as a Warriors fan, I'm not either. I mean, maybe if the goal was to win the number 1 seed, then yeah, I'd be worried. But if the goal is to win a championship, then no. And I'll get to that in a bit, but first, let's hear from Curry. When he was asked by a reporter where the Warriors are in terms of being an elite team, here was his response.
We're not that far off. Like game 10, I would have said, so I think we probably said something different. Like, we have a long way to go. We're not, a good team at all. We won't say that now. Like, we're right there. You just got to do it and execute it.
Sheesh, guys. So, we just heard from 2 players who won 4 championships each that there's absolutely nothing to worry about. Yet, like I said earlier, people are running around like Chicken Little screaming, "The sky is falling, the sky is falling." Anyways, I want to move on to my next point here, and that's if you think the Warriors you see here today are going to be the Warriors you see in the postseason, then yeah, you've been completely fooled. And this is why. Here's Jonathan Kuminga calling for the ball. Swing, swing, and the ball is in his hands. Now, watch this. Sheesh, guys. This guy really has become a beast. I've watched every Warriors game this season, and now, more than ever, we're really starting to see the growth of the 2021 number 7 pick. I mean, besides that vicious dunk, Kuminga is really learning his role with Steve Kerr's system, and he's excelling in it. Whether or not it's a cut to the basket, a putback dunk, or a one-on-one play against an MVP caliber player like Jason Tatum, Jonathan Kuminga has been doing it all. After getting lots of DMPs to start the season, he's found a spot in the Warriors rotation, and is he flourishing or what? In his last 10 games, he's been averaging almost 11 points, throwing in a couple of boards and assists, on efficiencies of 57% from the floor and 35% from three-point range. And then, on top of this, he's a positive in the plus-minus department. Man, the season isn't even halfway over yet, which is crazy because I just wonder how much better this kid is going to get when the playoffs arrive. Then, on top of him, there's also going to be this. Here's Jordan Poole with the ball, and the person setting the high screen is James Wiseman. Once Wiseman rolls to the basket and gets the pass from Poole, look where he leaps from. Sheesh, guys. Talk about a monster. Those G League games are really helping this young man find his game. And the numbers speak for themselves. In his game so far for Santa Cruz, Wiseman is averaging nearly 19 points a game, 10 boards on 68% from the field. The 2020 second overall pick is finally showing more and more just why he was chosen ahead of LaMelo Ball and right behind Anthony Edwards. He's a beast, and as he gets more and more in-game repetitions, and as he gains more experience on how to play winning basketball, the league is going to be in for a surprise. So here's what I predict going forward this season for the Warriors. For the next few weeks, there's going to be a bit more growing pains, especially with Curry out. They're going to lose more games, and more Chicken Littles are going to be popping up out of nowhere. But once they figure it out a little bit, then once Curry comes back, the Warriors are really going to be pouring it on, similar to what the Celtics did last year after the All-Star break. Just remember, no matter how bad the Warriors may look at the moment, they are an elite team that's still trying to figure things out with a host of new players. And here's what I mean, for Pete's sake. Just look at this. That's Jordan Poole with the ball, but look who else is on the floor with him. 3 of these guys weren't even on the team last season, and the other one, Moses Moody, was just a rookie a year ago who averaged only 8 minutes a game in the playoffs. How are you going to expect a team like this to be elite from the get-go? The answer is, you can't. Anyways, despite all this, the truth is the Warriors are just one 10-game winning streak away from literally the top of the Western Conference. And to be perfectly honest, I'm actually excited about this next stretch of games without Curry because it'll give an opportunity for everyone else to level up a bit and figure out how to win games without getting bailed out by one of the top 10 players in NBA history. I mean, check out this play here. Klay has the ball up top, he uses the screen from Looney, and when both defenders switch onto him, he gives it up to the roller, and when that happens, the defense collapses, and Kuminga recognizes that from the corner and does his job to perfection. Here's another example of what I'm liking from the Warriors. Looney fakes a handoff to Moody and drives into the paint. As he does so, he scrambles the defense a bit. Kuminga then cuts hard, catches the ball from Looney, sizes up his defender, then makes a strong play towards the basket. Man, this is exactly like what happened last season when Curry went out from that Marcus Smart dive. The team as a unit learned how to play winning team basketball. Then, when the chef finally returned, it was game over for the league as the Warriors just completely ran through the playoffs, and it's looking like the same thing is about to happen again this season.